Making national headlines today, prosecutors introducing new evidence in the federal arson trial for the man accused of starting what the government says eventually grew into the deadly Palisades fire last January.
Yeah, many of us remember this very well. It is one of the most destructive and deadly wildfires in the history of Los Angeles, destroying thousands of homes and killing 12 people. Fox News' Sarah Alegre joining us live now. So, Sarah, what stood out to you today?
Well, Simone, Kelsey, prosecutors, they just spent the day trying to connect the dots here for jurors. They say Jonathan Rinder-Connect, he started that small brush fire just after midnight on New Year's Day last year and eventually reignited days later into the Palisades fire. But the defense says, you know what, that's all wrong, saying their client didn't start the fire at all. He simply reported it. So lots of back and forth here. Two different stories. Prosecutors showed jurors weeks of the suspect's internet searches and ChatGPT conversations today. They say it not only points to his interest in the fires, his fascination, but also showcased discussions about hiding information. Investigators also shared a screen recording from the suspect's iPhone. Prosecutors say it shows him trying to call 911 several times after the fire started. But during that recording, investigators say he also opened up ChatGPT and searched whether someone could be held responsible if a fire was started by a cigarette. Now, going back to that night, the defendant was driving an Uber in the Palisades before prosecutors allege he intentionally started what's now dubbed the Lockman fire. Passengers later told police he drove erratically and was angry after talks of a recent breakup. Now, the government says evidence shows the suspect is a premeditated arsonist who tried to cover up his tracks.
The allegations are further supported by the defendant's cell phone, his false statements to law enforcement, and his behavior during the Lockman fire, which the defendant is charged with maliciously starting shortly after midnight on New Year's Day of this year, and which eventually became the Palisades fire.
Yeah, and on the other hand here, especially here in cross-examination today, the defense argued there's no direct evidence showing Rinder-Connect intentionally set that fire on New Year's Day. And they argue investigators never found a single online search or ChatGPT prompt discussing committing arson or starting a fire. They say prosecutors are scapegoating their client for firefighters' failure to put out flames started by fireworks that night. Rinder-Connect's attorney, Steve Haney, telling media yesterday this trial is more so an attack on his client's character.
You're seeing a lot of anti-Jonathan evidence and a lot of things that are critical of his decisions, maybe personal and things like that. But right now I haven't seen a lot of arson evidence. And there will be a defense. There'll be a very strong defense, and we'll be calling a number of witnesses that I think will change a lot of the narrative that maybe you're hearing in the courtroom now.
He pleaded not guilty and faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted. In Los Angeles, Sarah Alegre, Fox 9.
All right, thanks, Sarah. So many people impacted by those fires, still waiting to rebuild, too.